Welcome back. There's a woman here in the 608 who hopes you will learn from her mistake of not taking care of her skin over the years.
Josh Breider is here this morning with a story about this woman who we could all learn something from.
Yeah, a lot of lessons to be learned from this woman, guys. Yesterday in the 608, I showed you how easy it is to get a skin check, and now if the dermatologist would have found something, my case would have been sent to the UW Carbone Cancer Center. And for one woman, that became a scary reality. And this morning, she has a message for you at home.
I know there's someone that could benefit from hearing how important it is to take care of the largest organ of your body.
When Renee Zemke and her husband Aaron walk through these doors at the UW Carbone Cancer Center, it's good news these days. But that wasn't always the case.
It was just an atypical mole. Melanoma was not mentioned.
Renee had a mole move from her leg back in 2014 only because it bothered her when shaving. Fast forward 2 years.
Got to springtime, wanted to wear shorts, shave my legs, and I noticed on my thigh where that mole had been removed that there was a lump under my skin.
After losing family and friends to cancer, including her own mother, Renee knew she needed to get in right away to get the lump tested.
The doctor called me Mother's Day weekend and told me that I had melanoma.
Looking back, Renee says she never took care of her skin growing up, didn't use sunscreen, used baby oil when at the beach, even visited tanning salons.
I made all the mistakes. And so it's hard to think that it's not my fault, which is where a lot of the pain comes from.
5 years later, Dr. Mark Albertini of the UW Carbone Cancer Center is able to show off Renee's scans, which have come back clean during every checkup since April of 2017. Dr. Albertini works with patients who see cancer spreading, or those like Renee who had it removed but are at a high risk of seeing it coming back again.
Melanoma is known to spread to both lymph nodes, to various tissues in the body, to lung, to liver, to bone, to brain. And that's what makes it so fearful.
Dr. Albertini tells me over the last decade they've been able to make significant progress in the battle against cancer through clinical trials. And he credits the participation from folks like Renee who are willing to enroll in working to benefit others in the future.
Her genuine motivation was to provide for herself what was cutting edge and best available treatment. But equally important and quite admirable was really her wish to both help others.
Dr. Albertini says Renee is very fortunate to have had an easier road than others, but she's no less important in the fight. And one of the simplest things in helping Renee on her journey to recovery, or perhaps largest, is this polar bear at UW Hospital.
I can remember who I sat here with, and I can remember how sick I was when I sat here. And I can remember my kids sitting here and my husband, and I can remember sitting here when I got good news. So it's very special to me.
Renee tells me she hopes to instill better practices on herself and those she loves in helping prevent others from having to go through the anxiety she's faced over the years.
Now I know better, and I can do better, and I do that by protecting my kids. Wear sunscreen, get a skin check. It doesn't take long, you know, once or twice a year for a half hour. It could save your life.
Early melanoma is curable, but if it spreads, it's a serious problem and could result in significant symptoms or even death. Renee is now down to getting only one scan done a year at the UW Carbone Cancer Center, but she still encourages others to get their skin checked by a dermatologist every 6 months. She also hopes folks will continue to sponsor the research done in those clinical trials to help even more people down the road. I know we did 2 days of coverage of this, but this is stuff that we just can't talk enough about. I mean, even for me yesterday, I was out on the lake, and it does kind of make you think twice about how much sunscreen you're putting on, that extra protection, because, you know, all that you can do now is only going to protect you down the road.
Yeah, it takes so long to see the effects of everyday decisions that we make and what we do and don't do with our skin, how long we're reapplying. But how many people out there are just like Renee, you know, who didn't use sunscreen when they were a kid? Maybe they used some tanning beds, even using the baby oil, like she said. I mean, I think there are a lot of people out there who can relate to Renee's story, and, you know, and a lot of them are just waiting. So it's a really important message to get out there.
That's the thing is, I mean, this was 20, 30 years ago. She was talking about that, you know, she was doing all the things that you shouldn't do to your body, and then that catches up to you. So it makes a difference, all those little things that we do. And I know we can't stress that stuff enough, but even yesterday I got my skin checked. You asked me, It took me 5 to 10 minutes. That's all it took to get my skin checked.
So easy.
Super easy, and it was just a pain-free experience and just going to make you feel better down the run. But wear your sunscreen, put your hat on, and yeah, we don't want any burnt faces this summer. So.
Good warning. Josh Breiter, thank you very much.
You bet.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out on social media or email him in the 608 at WICTV.com for a chance to be featured.